Apparently, we've got a Midnight Suns project in development at Marvel Studios, and the lineup they're looking at is Moon Knight, Blade, Doctor Strange, and the Punisher. Now, this is quite a nice, varying, different sort of lineup. Interesting, I think you might know more about Midnight Suns than me. Who else do you think we could be expecting in this lineup? The characters that are already established we can kind of say Blade's kind of established because he had a voice role in Eternals, but who else do you think we could see in it? In fact, going off Eternals, Kit Harington's character, Black Knight, who apparently has been written out of Blade because it's going to take place in the past now. But
yeah,
might
I
see
don't know.
His ancestors.
I think probably we'll see an ancestor of some form, but I'm excited. I don't know too much, to be honest. I know they made a game of it, and it came out for free for like a day or something, and I thought, I'll give it a go. And the game's actually really fucking good. I just didn't really like the theme of the Midnight Suns. I can't lie. But when I played the game, I was like, oh my god, this is actually pretty cool. Like, I'm really interested about this. It's kind of like a dark, mythical, magical take on the Marvel characters, and they go into, that sort of world, I guess. And I really enjoyed it. I didn't have long on the demo, but I was like, oh my god, I need to buy this game. Like, I really like it now. Not just for the gameplay, but for the Midnight Suns. And then when I heard, they're thinking about doing that for the MCU, I was like, that's going to be even fucking cooler, because it's going to be characters we already know and love. Well, versions of characters we already know and love. And they're going to be sort of forming up a mini team instead of having just... Because I think you agree with me when I say you'd like to see not just the Avengers team, you'd like to see other teams in the Marvel Universe. And I feel like...
We've got the Avengers. Now, we're getting the Thunderbolts as another team. And Young Avengers has been thrown around out there quite a lot. I think if they're going to do Young Avengers anything, I think they should maybe try and do a Disney Plus show. Daredevil's just been made canon, so we're not sure on which defenders are canon in the MCU, and what's, if that team's a thing or not. Midnight Suns, great addition. Can we just say it, what it is, though? This is going to just be R-rated Avengers, isn't it?
It needs to be, I think. I think it really needs to be. And do you know what? Do you know who I would like to... I know I've spoke about this before, but do you know who I'd actually like to take the helm of this? I'd like this person to be, like, even just the overseeing part of this. Kind of like how James Gunn was going to be the overseeing part of the space, dynamic in the MCU. Sam Raimi.
Well, I did not think I'd hear that coming from your mouth. But do you know what? You might not agree, I'd even like to see him direct it.
Direct it or just oversee it. I'm fine with either of that. Because that's his style. Like, when it boils down to it, that's kind of his style. Obviously, I enjoyed Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness, but I didn't love it. And I was a little let down.
Yeah.
Obviously, I love the Sam Raimi Spider-Man trilogy. I mean, pretty much everyone does. But this is something I feel like he can do.
Yeah. The one that just throws me off all the time, it's like, oh, nice. Moon Knight, Blade, Doctor Strange. I can kind of see them working together. Punisher? It's like, all right, what would get Frank Castle involved in this? What threats do the Midnight Suns even face? Is it magical? Is it... Because that kind of sounds like what it is.
Bunch of dead people.
But, could they go to the Marvel Zombies universe and just absolutely tear ass?
See, one thing I'll say, though, obviously, just going back to Sam Raimi a second, the one issue I have with it, though, is Sam Raimi isn't good at doing multiple big main stars in stuff. I'll be honest. Like, he obviously did Wanda pretty good. Obviously, he did Doctor Strange pretty good. The Mary Jane, Harry,
Yeah.
Obviously Osborn and stuff like that. They don't get me wrong, they're all great. That was all done great, but they were side characters. These guys need to be the main cast, the main guys in the entire film or show or whatever they decide to do. But
And you know what? It's funny that this pops up now because Oscar Isaac was doing some interviews lately, and he said the next thing he wants to see Moon Knight pop up in is Midnight Suns. So
hopefully it's real. Hopefully
Yeah.
we do get the Midnight
I'm
Suns,
just
and
think-
hopefully
I'm just
it's done
thinking,
well.
This might be a while out yet, though, and I want to see Oscar Isaac as Moon Knight sooner
fine with
rather
it.
than later. Because we've got Blade to come out first. We've got an introduction of Punisher to happen in Born Again. Don't know yet if he's going to get his own show. I'd say no. I like the Punisher show. I do. I like it a lot. And everyone's like, that man needs a show after his appearance in Daredevil. I think it's better. Let's keep them together. Daredevil and Punisher. Keep him as a supporting character in that show. And I'd even say a supporting character in the MCU, which sounds bad and it sounds like it's downgrading his role, but I just like it when Frank shows up and fucks shit up. But yeah.
I mean, I liked the first season, and I thought the second season was okay. It was passable. But, yeah, I get what you mean. He's just a badass.
I like it. I really like the Punisher show, but nothing topped his dynamic he had with Matt Murdock. Like even even a little bit in the courtroom, where he says to him, he says, "May I call you Frank?" And he looks at me, he's like, "I know who you fucking are. I know who you are."
Do you know what? You just remind me of that meme where obviously he's spouting out. He's like, "I'll do it again.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll happily do it again." And then I sent you that meme where it's a picture of him in the courthouse, and he's like, with that face. He just says, "What a load of barnacles." Just thought that was hilarious.
One question I do want to throw to you is, what are the chances that Doctor Strange 3 gets changed into Midnight Suns?
Pretty high.
And maybe Doctor Strange goes around recruiting heroes to help him with incursions, and then maybe they get into the film, it's like, why'd you recruit us guys? And then he reveals something. It's like, you guys were inconsequential to your timeline, so I could take you. And then they're all like feeling down and useless, and like sad music plays, and they're all like drinking in a bar, like, oh man, this sucks, we're so useless. And then Doctor Strange comes back in and he smashes the thing that's got the bomb in their head, and he goes, "You can go if you want." No, I'm kidding. That's
That's a really good setup though. I quite like that.
Well, yeah,
he's just. Because that's kind of his Doctor Strange's thing. Like, he did it in No Way Home, where it's like, it doesn't. If these guys die, it's part of it.
I think we're forgetting. Like, I don't want to say Doctor Strange is a bad person, but he's definitely he's morally grey.
Yeah, he's quite cold.
He is the person who's willing to make the hard choices. He made the choice of Iron Man dying. That was his choice.
Yeah,
he set them events forward. And Natasha dying as well. I'm not saying, he didn't pull the trigger, but Doctor Strange technically killed him. Yeah, to save countless other lives, and that is the decision he weighs up in his head. So maybe Doctor Strange 3 is Doctor Strange Midnight Suns. And it's like, right, I need some help. And it's like, oh, who's not going to affect the timeline that much? Frank Castle, which is weird because he'd probably kill a lot of people. Blade and Moon Knight. I'm just theorising here. You'll probably tell me how consequential they are to the timeline and what they've done in the comics and stuff like that down below. But it's just an idea. Just an idea.
I think it'd be pretty cool just to create our own cinematic universe. And we should do a video.
Yeah. And they've not been chosen for their skill set. It's just... yeah, just because they're good at what they do, and yeah, I'll get by with these guys. And if they die, it doesn't matter.
We should do our own little lineup video of the movies we'd like to see in the projects and what would happen.
Yeah,
but that'd be a pretty cool video actually. Just have like a timeline underneath us and
drag
them in.